Hi, this is Peter Schiff, CEO of Euro-Pacific Precious Metals, and I wanted to take a moment to record this video message to reassure our clients and our prospects regarding the precious metals markets. Many of you may be disheartened, particularly those who might have purchased gold or silver just recently to see the dollar value of your investment decline so rapidly in a short period of time. Also, many of you who have yet to make an investment in either gold or silver may be discouraged from doing so based on the recent decline in the price. And I just wanted to reassure everybody that I believe that the fundamental case for owning gold and silver is stronger than ever. In fact, the recent price declines simply adds further support, I believe, to the decision to buy gold and silver. If you've already bought some, you can certainly take advantage of the decline to buy more. And if you haven't bought any at all, hey, maybe you thought the train had already left the station. It's turned around and come back, giving you a chance to get on board. You know, there is an old expression in the stock market that bull markets take the stairs up, but the elevator down. You know, a lot of you have seen gold and silver gaining steadily in smaller increments over the last several months, and now you see all those paper gains evaporate in a matter of days. In fact, this time around, it seems as if the markets didn't even take the elevator down, that they just fell down the shaft. But, you know, what happens when you get these sharp declines, and we've had them in the past. You know, before I set up Euro-Pacific Precious Metals, I was advocating that my brokerage clients at Euro-Pacific Capital buy gold and silver. I've been helping them acquire it for almost 10 years. And during this time period, we have had several very sharp declines, sometimes a percentage just as sharp as this one, although the dollar numbers might have been smaller because the prices were lower, but the percentages were just as great. And every time this happens, you know, everybody comes out and, oh, we told you so, we warned you, precious metals are too risky, it's a bubble that's burst, and it creates a lot of fear. And that's what builds a bull market. It's built on fear. It climbs that proverbial wall of worry. And I think a lot of people who might have come late to the party, at least thus far, there's a lot of leverage speculators out there. And remember, we discourage our clients from using leverage. There are a lot of brokerage firms, not brokerage firms, but metals companies that do advocate using leverage, and we try to discourage that. In fact, if you haven't taken the time to download and read my report, my special report on gold scams and what to look out for, make sure and download that at goldscams.com. One of them has to do with leverage. And obviously, people who are on leverage, a lot of them are being forced to sell, margin requirements being raised on the exchanges, and so people are being forced to sell their gold. But our clients are not forced to sell. In fact, we have the opportunity to buy gold and silver from people who have no choice, that need to sell, and they're selling at a very inopportune time. Well, their pain is our gain, and it gives us an opportunity to increase our positions if we already have them, or to establish positions for the first time at levels that are far more favorable than they were just a week or two ago. In fact, I think the catalyst that started this sell-off was the announcement by Ben Bernanke that the U.S. economy faced even more significant downside risks than he believed. Well, the reason we're buying our gold and silver is precisely because we think the U.S. economy is much worse than the Fed chairman either believes or would readily admit. And the fact that he's starting to acknowledge that it's a bigger problem isn't bad for the gold market. I think it's very bullish, because a weak U.S. economy means more government stimulus. It means more money printing, more quantitative easing. That's why we're buying gold. It's precisely because we believe the Fed and other central banks will continue to print money to try to artificially grow or revive a bubble economy that has already burst. What they're really doing is throwing fuel on the fire. They will only make it bigger, but that is why we should be buying gold. Now, maybe the markets were disappointed that we didn't get a more official announcement of QE3. Instead, we got Operation Twist. The markets might have been disappointed because they think that this is going to put the squeeze on banks, which is true, and that Ben Bernanke is taking the punch bowl away. Maybe he's turning off the printing presses. He's not going to be helicopter Ben. I don't believe that for a minute. I think when at the end of the day, Ben Bernanke will do the only thing he knows, which is to print more money. And, the election season is coming up, and I think Ben Bernanke is very concerned about some of the criticism he got for QE2. He wants to do QE3. In fact, I think he's already started it. He's just reluctant to officially admit it. But I think as the economic data continues to worsen, of course, not only here in the United States, there's problems all around the world, Europe as well. European central bankers are also creating inflation. So it's not just Americans who want to own gold, who want to protect themselves from reckless politicians, debt, and money printing. It's Europeans. It's people in South America. It's people in Asia. The whole world is discovering the benefits of owning gold and silver and the perils of owning fiat currencies. Yes, every once in a while, gold and silver prices can drop, but it shouldn't discourage you from owning something real. Because remember, the real drop that we're concerned about is not the short-term drop in metal prices, but the long-term collapse in the purchasing power of fiat currencies, particularly the U.S. dollar. And so while some of the Johnny-come-latelys who don't really understand the fundamentals of the market, maybe they're cutting and running and trying to limit some losses, the people who understand the fundamentals, understand why gold and silver are going up, who have been buying it for years, they're not going to be discouraged. In fact, from what I can tell, there is a lot of physical buying going on this dip. So while the leveraged speculators are getting out of the market, real money is moving into the market, and I suggest that my clients do the same. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to listen to this message. If you want to share it with your friends, and also try to share the special report that we recorded at goldscams.com. We need to make sure that the people who are buying gold and silver are buying the right gold and silver at the right price and not falling into many of the traps that we expose in the special report. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care, everybody.